Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from Group 7 from Informatic Engineering Class 20, and today we will explain about computer security. Before that, we will introduce ourselves. The first is my friend Rosi.
Hello everyone, my name is Rosi Latansa Salsabela, my absent number is 19.
And the second member is Rosis.
Hello everyone, my name is Rosis Hudaya Putra, my absent number is 20.
Okay, and the last is me, Rizka Musyarofatul Hidayah, my absent number is 18. Okay, we have several topics that we will explain. The first is definition of cybercrime. The second is type and case of cybercrime. The third is how to protect from cybercrimes. And the last is conclusion our discussion of the question about cybercrime material. Okay, I will explain about the first topic. The first topic is definition cybercrime. Cybercrime is also known as computer crime, is the use of computers as instrument for further illegal purpose, such as committing fraud, trafficking in child pornography, and intellectual property, identifying data or violating privacy. Cybercrime, especially over the internet, is increasingly important because computers have become the center of commerce, entertainment, and government. The second topic is types of cybercrime. The first is piracy. Software piracy is the act of stealing software legally protected. This stealing includes copying, distributing, modifying, or selling the software. Copyright laws were originally put into place so that the people who develop software, or programmers, writers, graphic artists, and etc., would get the proper credit and compensation for their work. When software piracy occurs, compensation is stolen from these copyright holders. Piracy is done in many ways like video piracy, cable piracy, and DVD piracy. Consequences of software piracy are no warranty and software cannot be updated, increased chance that the software will malfunction or fail, and etc. The second is plagiarism and theft of intellectual property. According to Kakor and Mosgovoy in 2012, cyber plagiarism can be defined as a type of academic dishonesty that consists of reusing whole electronic document or part of them composed by another author without proper acknowledgement of the original source. For example, plagiarism is when you take another person's work or ideas and pass them off as your own. Cyber plagiarism has also been called e-plagiarism, web plagiarism, and cut and paste plagiarism. Most often, it refers to cutting and pasting content from website page and presenting it as one's own original work, so that it need for institutions or other related parties to implement preventative measures and enforce strict policies in order to curb cyber plagiarism. The third is phishing scam. Phishing is a cyber attack that uses disguised email as a weapon. The goal is to trick the email recipient into believing that the message is something they want or need. A request from their bank, for instance, or a note for someone in their company, and to click a link or download attachment. Generally, a phishing campaign tries to get the victim to do one of two things. The first is hand over sensitive information, and the second is download malware. And the next is IP spoofing. IP spoofing is the creation of Internet Protocol or IP packets which have a modified source address in order to either hide the identity of the sender, to impersonate another computer system, or both. It is a technique often used by bad actors to invoke DDoS attack against a target device or the surrounding infrastructure. DDoS attack will often utilize spoofing with a goal of overwhelming a target with traffic while masking the identity of the malicious source. Preventing mitigation effort. If source IP address is falsified and continuously randomized, blocking malicious requests become difficult. IP spoofing also makes it tough for law enforcement and cybersecurity teams to track down the perpetrator of the attack. And the next is cyber stalking. Cyber stalking is a crime in which the attacker harasses a victim using electronic communication, such as email or instant messaging or IM, or a message posted to a website or a discussion group. A cyber stalker relies upon the anonymity afforded by the internet to allow them to stalk their victim without being detected. Cyber stalking message differ from ordinary spam in that a cyber stalker targets a specific victim with often threatening message, while the spammer targets a multitude of recipients with simply anonymous message. An online organization, WHOA, dedicated to the cyber stalking problem, reported that in 2001, 18% of cyber stalking were male and 32% female. Presumably, in some cases, the perpetrator's gender is unknown. In some cases, cyber stalking develops for a real-world stalking incident and continues over the internet. And the third topic, case of cybercrime, will explained by Rosis Hudaya Putra. Rosis Hudaya Putra, the time is yours.
The next topic is case of cybercrime. First, piracy. In Jakarta, from CNN Indonesia, behind the number of viewers who exceed 5 million Warkop DKI Ribbon and Bus have a piracy problem. Someone record it live in the cinema and spread it through Bigo Live social media. The perpetrator record with his smartphone. Then it was distributed using a Bigo Live account with a profile name W. But the process of this arrest was not explained. The police confiscated a smartphone that was used to record and distribute the film Warkop DKI Puncak Record Bus from theaters to Bigo Live. Next, plagiarism and the theft of intellectual property. IKEA Sweden versus IKEA or ESA Esite Equator Diamond in 2030. There was a brand dispute between IKEA System B.V or IKEA and PT Ratania Katulistiwa IKEA. The Supreme Court in its decision rejected the IKEA apple demanding the cancelling of the IKEA brand from Indonesia. This trademark was declared to have been registered at the Directorate General or IPR. However, quoted from Kontan, it is not clear who has the right to bear the IKEA brand until now. This is because IKEA brand Indonesia has not confirmed the continuity of this brand in the country. The manager of IKEA Indonesia said that the case for this brand was the authority of IKEA Sweden. Next, cyber stalking. Advocate Farhad Abbas finally became suspect in the illegal racist case directed at the Deputy Governor of DKI Jakarta, Basuki Cahayapurnama alias Ahok. Farhad Abbas was reported to the Police Jaya for alleged violation of law number 14 of 2008, Article 4 and 90 concerning the elimination of ethnic and racial discrimination, and the ITE Law Article 27, Paragraph 3. But until now, there has been no continue of this case because Ahok himself did not really pay attention for the Farhad tweet on Twitter. Farhad also apologized to Ahok at the press conference, but the continuance of the sentence for this case is not clear until this moment. Next is the next and last IP spoofing. In Jakarta, a woman with the initial IP was arrested by police after committing fraud against a cell phone entrepreneur. The suspect's mode of action was to offer bank guarantee or BG worth EDR were billion using email spoofing. The suspect sent an email to the victim creating a fake email account robi.roberto@bankmandiri.co.id. The suspect made use of a free fake email service on the internet from the website www.mk.jz to trick to the victim. The next topic is how to protect from cybercrimes. The first is phishing scams. Stop trusting your emails. They are not always what they seem. Security awareness and phishing training can empower your team to defend against phishing attacks. Second, website spoofing. The easiest thing you can do is ignore and delete anything you are not anticipating. Legitimate companies will have multiple ways to contact you in the event they need to reach you. Third, ransomware. Back your data up and then do it again in a separate location. Frequency and redundancy are key to your success. If you only back up your system weekly, or if your back is infected, you are in for a lot of trouble. Next, malware. To protect our data from malware, we can be cautious about email attachment, avoid suspicious websites, or look at the spelling carefully. Install and continually update a high-quality antivirus program. Next, IoT hacking. The more things we connect, the juicier the reward becomes for hacker. What you can do? Use a password generator to secure all devices with unique password. And the last, cyber stalking. The most effective course of action is to report the offender to their internet service provider or ISP. So that option be impossible or ineffective, the best thing to do is to change your own ISP and all your online names. Okay, the next topic will be explained by my friend Bella.
Okay, thank you. I'm Rosi Latansa. I will explain to you all about the conclusion of our discussion of the question about cybercrime materials. For the first question is which the crime is the most dangerous? Based on our discussion, the most dangerous cybercrime is phishing because during the COVID-19 pandemic like this crime often pop-ups our region or the unstable world economy, like many countries that have experienced economic crisis. Online scam and phishing. Threat actors have received their usual online scam and phishing scams by deploying COVID-19 termed phishing email, often impersonating government and health authorities. Cyber criminal enters victims into providing their personal data and downloading malicious content. For this graphic statistic of distributing of the COVID-19 infection cyber crimes based on member countries' feedback. For the projection, future primary areas to concern highlighted by the Interpol report include the threat actor like the continued proliferating coronavirus scam, online scam and phishing, combined to large public concern about the pandemic by method of business email comparison. For the second question, it is fair or unfair to play the songs, videos, or articles that you download. Should copyright violation be allowed online? Yes, fair. But for non-online music platforms such as Spotify, entries have been provided which can be used free at charge even though someone are premium or paid. If you use an unpaid one, there is an advertisement interest in it. And should copyright violation be allowed online? The answer is no, because copyright infringement is still a harmful violation. Based on our statistic data about the music piracy by internet users and Gen Z consumers worldwide 2019, according to a global study held in 2019, 23% of the respondents, again between 16 and 64 years old, got their music via streaming ripping. What is streaming ripping? Streaming ripping is the most common of the music online copyright infringement and involves creating a file from online content which is then the table. For the third question, what laws can be taken by the government to stop cybercrime? Where there is crime, then that's where the laws rest. Everything crime, that must be a punishment given. I feel is always associated with the punishment that will be imposed against a crime done. Following the material of the Law on Information and Electronic Transaction, or stands for UUITI, imposed on crime virtual world cited by the government contains several laws. While that is divided into 5 categories. For the first is acknowledgement of electronic information or document as valid legal evidence. The second, electronic signature. The third is organizing electronic certification. The fourth, the operating of the electronic system. And the fifth is prohibit at cybercrime. While the several cybercrime regulated in the ITI law including, for the first is illegal content, which consists of, among others, decency, gambling, insult or defamation, threats and extortion. The second is illegal access. Third is illegal inscription. The fourth is interference of data. The fifth is interference of system. And the last are six, abuse of the tools and equipment. While for the especially cybercrime in UUITI, there are in the Article 27 until 34 of the Law 88. For the third question, do you think governments have right to censor material on the internet? Yes, it is the right. Government Kominfo, or stands for Ministry of Communications and Informatics in Indonesia, has the right to censor material on social media or internet because Kominfo thinks by the censoring material on the internet, it can be used an effort to change negative content. But the other hand, there are several countries that have basic principle of freedom of expression because of they are think technology has enabled new ways for the people expression. For example, one of these is the USA, which in the first amendment of the Constitution, which states no laws can be passed to restrict free speech. Meanwhile, our statement before it based in the two data statistics. For the first is the data about static number of countries where popular apps were blocked or user arrested. In the new development, the most routinely targeted tool these years were instant messaging and calling platforms, with restrictions often imposed during time of protest or due to national security concerns. For example, in Indonesia, this restriction occurred when massive protests about the copyright works law. In here, we know that the WhatsApp tracks on the most restriction, with the 12 out of 65 countries blocking the enter, servers are disabling certain features. And the second data statistic, there is internet freedom versus internet penetration versus GOP. In basically, restrictions by the government are in anticipation of an activity that threatens the safety of the state, and as an example of terrorism. In democracy, especially Indonesia, where the definition of terrorism tends to have a narrower scope. In the statistic, we know that Indonesia includes the yellow areas. What it means? That it means that the internet in Indonesia is into the internet penetration. Okay, based on our explanation, so it can be concluded that however, cybercrime must be watched out, given how important the data we have, if it is measured, and about the government's authority to censor material on the internet might be done with the consideration of the common good to secure citizens from the negative impact of the internet, especially hoax news or terrorism activity. However, this can be the otherwise around of the government is not subject to censor material on the internet. If doing so could violate human rights, particularly the right to freedom of opinions. Okay, I think now that's all about our presentation. I hope that after seeing this presentation about computer security, all of friends can use the internet more wisely. If you have any question, please write it in the comment box below. And please give us apologies if we have many mistakes. And last, I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.